So, this is a very impromptu thing. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I just got done watching the SheHulk finale. And with all these Disney Plus Marvel shows, I always record my first thoughts, my reactions, and I upload that to my second channel. Go watch that if you want. And normally for something like this, I would sleep on it. I'm like, okay, let me fully get my thoughts like through my head. Whoa, that just moved. Let me fully get my thoughts through my head so I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I want to say. No, let's just talk about it. This is a bit of a rant. I may have a clip. Whatever. Let's just get into it. I'm a huge fan of Marvel projects. If you've seen this channel, you know. If you go through this channel, you'll know. Huge fan. I've seen nearly every single Marvel movie in theaters. I'm missing the first two Thors and the first two Iron Mans. Okay, everything else I've seen in theaters. Since Phase 3, I've seen everything the Thursday night it opened. Huge fan of Marvel. I stay up till 2 a.m. every night at a new Marvel show, no matter how good I think the show is, to watch a new episode, because I'm excited for what Marvel has to offer. And I'll fully acknowledge that in recent Phase 4 years, or like barely a year and a half, the quality has been iffy, but the quality's never been fantastic. Do y'all remember Phase 1? Phase 1 was kind of all over the place. Phase 1 probably goes in the middle, right with Phase 4. I think that's fine. And I'm an optimist when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, we got a bunch of creatives on this. I just want good, fun stories. She-Hulk as a show is a show that I was totally looking forward to. I love the She-Hulk character. I love the She-Hulk stories. I haven't read them all. Haven't even read most of them. But the ones I've read were good, okay? So it was a character that I wanted to see. It was a show that I wanted to see. While watching the show, it's very obvious that the writing is just not the best. It's like they had, and I said this in those first reaction videos, they had an idea for a story, but didn't know how to end it. They don't know how to do endings, so they kind of write. Most stories have a Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. They would kind of have an Act 1 that would go awkwardly into Act 2, and then Act 2 would just kind of end. And it's like, where was the resolution? There was none. That kind of thing. Every episode was riddled with that, except for the second to last one. The second to last one actually had a coherent story. And so it got me it made me hopeful for the finale. I was like, okay, they have a big plot point. Jen's life is ruined right now. How's she going to fix it? How's she going to get out of this? She didn't. The writers didn't have an idea. They set up all this big... it's not even big plots. It's mundane stuff. It's mundane stuff of just how is she going to do this? Is she going to take him down? Is she going to fight her way back legally to get back to where she... No. The writer said, fuck it. Just have her life back. I get it. She breaks the fourth wall. It's cute. It's funny. But that shouldn't come at the effect of bad storytelling. I want good stories. I don't want cool cameos. I don't want, whoa, he was on Sakaar and that's his son? Oh, my, is that Daredevil? Wong? No. I want an interesting comedy court drama. That's what I want. That's what most people want. The fact that they didn't have the... I hate that they shit on Kevin Feige, the man who built this up, the man who made this show a thing, and didn't have the balls to put him in the show. I don't know if that was a him thing. It could have been his idea to have it be the robot. Okay, but the fact that they didn't have the balls to show his face of who they're shitting on, that's what it felt like, that they were just shitting on the whole MCU as a whole. Shitting on me as a fan. I'm staying up till 2 a.m. to watch a show that I fucking loathe. But because I'm an optimistic son of a bitch, I'm like, who knows? They could, because a good finale can save a show. The show was below mediocre up until the last week's episode. That was like, that was a competent episode. It's a shame that competency accounts for good. That was a competent episode. Maybe things are coming up. Maybe the finale is going to be like the best finale of a Disney Plus show we've seen. No. There wasn't a finale. They didn't have a plan. And It honestly, God, it doesn't feel like this is something they've been setting up. You know, at least with other shows, the shitty finale, it's like, oh, they're waiting to show that to the finale. At least you know that. With this one, they just, it feels like they're shitting on me personally. No, it feels like they're shitting on everybody who puts time and effort. It feels like they're just saying this to people who do analysis videos. The people who do stay up and then go frame by frame and watch these and look up every QR code and look up they're just going, aren't you a freaking nerd? I already have my ticket for the Black Panther movie saved on my phone. And this finale made me feel like a jackass for doing that. Made me feel like an absolute dumbass for doing it. I feel like Carrie. I feel like in the Carrie movie when they dumped the blood on me. That's how I feel. And I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm just, this is a big Twitter moment, MCU fan cries about She-Hulk. I'm not crying that, they broke the fourth wall. No, I'm crying that's not writing. That's not writing. You can't just say, if you liked this episode, then I'm sorry, but just factually, you're the problem. This goes against everything right, like, that's what makes me mad the most, is that you can't do that. You can't just not have an ending. If you like this ending, I know everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Some people may have found it funny, okay? And I envy you. Honest to God, I wish I found comedy in this. I think Deadpool's fourth wall breaks are funny. Why don't I think this is funny? Because it's just basics. It's like, we need to write it. We need an ending. There was no ending. You can't just have a story and not have an ending. Imagine if in Avengers Endgame, the portal scene happens and then the credits started. Imagine if that happened, then the credits started. That is the equivalent to this. Oh, Avengers Endgame was a bigger deal. You get what I'm saying, though? I'm comparing. That's the same thing. It, honest to God, it does feel like, this show is just shitting on everything that it created. The thing about, like, the daddy jokes, that's okay, I get that in the concealed, but it's like her going to the office and be like, this is my show, why can't I have what I want? We don't need a big fight at the end. Like, oh, and he wants the blood? Oh, that's real close to Super Soldier's hero. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, why are you shitting on everything that was done before? I'm not saying she's wrong in that instance. Yeah, recent MCU material has had a lot of Super Soldier stuff. You still did it. You still were there. You still built up to that just for it to be nothing. I feel like I literally did waste my time with this show because everything it did set up, it just was like, that was stupid. You're stupid for being interested in that. Oh, but you like Daredevil. Here's Daredevil. Yeah. The whole I could talk about the whole show, but I'm mainly talking about the ending here. The whole show will come at its own time. It's just the sheer lack of awareness or the fullness. Honestly, this came to become so aware that it makes it even worse. She's talking about like, oh, the MCU is known for spectacles and blah, blah, blah. It's watching this really hurt. I hate saying stuff like that because it sounds so melodramatic, but it did. It makes me not want to go see the movies. It makes me not want to watch the next show. It's 3 a.m. right now. I'm recording this at 3 in the morning after I just stayed up to watch this show that I don't like. Because I'm invested, and at one point, when I first fell in love with the MCU, that's so lame, but when I first started really enjoying it was the underdog. It was, who the hell is Iron Man? You really think you can make a successful Thor movie? They're giving Iron Man a sequel? Avengers. Like it's a sequel to the other ones, but they're all in it? That's what I remember. And then it was the underdog, so now to see it be the top dog and not have any respect for where it came from. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. You can't give the middle finger to everything you built. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, every project needs to be this big event now. It's like, no, She-Hulk doesn't need to be connected to every other project, But it's like if Disney It's like if Wreck-It Ralph 2. Wreck-It Ralph 2 was bad, okay? But it's like in that scene, in like the princess scene, they just shit on all the movies. They're just like, yeah, that sucked, this sucked, blah, blah, blah. Wow, I can't believe people actually watch that, blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff. You know? Something like Rise of Skywalker. You know, a lot of people will say like, oh, this movie or this show just ruined the whole franchise for me. I never understood that. I was like, dude, it's all its own art, you know? I can enjoy Force Awakens and Last Jedi and still be aware that Rise of Skywalker exists, but also know it's its own story that is connected to those, you know? That whatever stories are told after are connected to it, but they're still their own stories. So it's like, I don't get why you could say, oh, it ruined the franchise for me. That's a dumb argument. But with something like this, where it is outright talking about those projects, like straight up, it's like if Kevin Feige himself was in an interview and he's like, yeah, everything I've done is worth dog shit, but feminist woke. Feminist woke. I'm just thinking about Kevin Feige on the stage at San Diego Comic-Con sounding so excited to talk about his new projects, but then next time I hear another speech like that, I'm going to have this in the back of my mind where he's just like not giving a shit. It sounds like he doesn't give a shit anymore. It sucks. I don't know. I can't fully, like I said, this is all new. If I had actually had time to think about what I was thinking about, I'd be able to give a better argument. You know, right now it's just like, oh, the show said it didn't, because I know it didn't actually outright say that, but just the way it went about this, the way it shit on other television shows, you know? Why have any ending, you know? And you can just, I'm watching Breaking Bad right now, right? I haven't gotten to the ending, but, you know, I hear it's just amazing. So, like, it's so funny how this show, not giving a shit about how it ends, makes every other show just like, why try? Why try? This also goes into corporate stuff where She-Hulk as a show, not as a character, She-Hulk as a show knew that it didn't have to try because it's got the Marvel bucks. They already got paid. She's already got a contract to be in all the movies. It's not like if this show did bad, she wouldn't, the actresses, who am I kidding? No one else is coming from this other than, I can't even remember her name. The woman who plays She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, she's going to be in the movies. It's already set up. You know, contract's already signed. So it's like, I don't know, it just shits on it. If Iron Man didn't do well, we wouldn't have She-Hulk. But now it's not like, well, if She-Hulk doesn't do well, we won't get more of her. No, we're getting more of her for sure. So why try? You know, I just think with... God, this show could have been so good. I'm so upset. Like, honest to God, I'm like, do I want to go see Black Panther? Do I want to support this? Do I? I just watched Shea Frillis's video today about how the MCU is taking us for granted. And how he's just not... It's not that he's not a fan of Marvel anymore. He's just not seeing everything, you know, following it as deeply anymore. Something like Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. I really wasn't looking forward to those at all, but new project. Hey, babe, it's 2 a.m, time to watch your Marvel show. All right, I'll be there. Set the alarm. It makes me feel like a jackass. Makes me feel like a dumbass. Makes me feel like a fucking clown for giving any morsel of support. I was probably one of She-Hulk's biggest supporters. Not publicly. I don't care about Twitter that much to post or anything. But just like, you know, mentally, I'm like, I wanted the show to be good. I wanted there to be a season 2 so they could actually listen to real criticisms about the show and work off of it. You know? The cameo aspect was kind of an interesting one. They could have done something interesting with the Marvel cameo format. You know? Which makes me feel like a dumbass for being interested in this. I stayed up till 2 a.m. to be called a fucking loser. Oh, what's that? Since 2008? Fuck that. Here's a funny X-Men. When are they bringing the X-Men in? It sucks, dude. It sucks. Yeah, this wasn't. I'm sure nobody stayed this long. If you did, appreciate it. I know this comes off as real petty, real lame. Dude, it's a show. Get over it. It's not the show that pisses me off. It's what the show is saying about what it's in, you know? About what I've done. And what many people have done. Like I said, all these people who analyzed the fuck out of this show. Like, it's... Like, I'm interested in watching what someone like New Rockstars posts. Like, what are they going to be, like, real happy about this? You know? And it sucks that they've created the perfect shield of, oh, well, if you don't like it, you're just sexist. They've built that into the show, too. You know? They've built that in. They didn't do that to say something. They'd use that as a shield. So now any criticism that comes towards this show, towards this ending, is just like, you're sexist. I totally agree with the Hulk shouldn't have come in and saved the day. I don't think the Hulk should have been in the finale at all. I think that Jennifer Walters, not She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters should have built a case for maybe superheroes. So then in a future Marvel crossover event, when they're saving the day, Jen Walters doesn't have to say it. She could even look to the camera, and I'd be fine with that. And she could go, all this is happening because I was in that legal case that, let superheroes do a thing. So then it's always in the back of our minds that when Spider-Man, the white man, Spider-Man is beating up Kang the Conqueror, in the back of our minds, we're like, yeah, he wouldn't be able to do that without Jennifer Walters. Because she did a legal case that allowed him to be Spider-Man. But no. We don't know how to do an ending, so we're going to be cutesy and break the fourth wall and call all of our viewers dumbasses. So dumb. It sucks. I think there's a cat fight going on outside. That's funny. It sucks. Makes me really want to not support this. Black Panther comes out. I already got my tickets for that. Ant-Man comes out in February. I was really looking forward to Ant-Man, and I'm going to see it opening night because I'm a dumbass. But and I was 100%, no matter what, going to watch every single Marvel show at 2 a.m. when it comes out on the Wednesday and or Thursday. But now it's like, maybe not anymore, you know? Maybe not. I'm still going to watch it. Marvel's still got my bottom dollar, but it sucks. It sucks that I'm sitting here making a 20-minute video, me sitting in my office. Yeah. The title was kind of over-exaggerated, clickbaity. I'll be the first to say that. SheHulk's finale made me hate the MCU. SheHulk's finale woke me up. It made me realize, because forever I wasn't a blind lover of the MCU. I totally get the criticisms, but I was always like, man, it sucks seeing everybody hate this, you know? But then this episode made me realize that the MCU isn't the underdogs it once was. It isn't man, I really need to go see this movie because if I don't, that's money that goes to them, the shows that people like this. It's it only made $1 billion, not $2 billion? That's kind of crazy. You post-COVID and all, but still, it only made $1 billion? It sucks. Everybody who made it this far, you're a real loser just like me. MCU sucks now. No, it doesn't. I don't know. She-Hulk's finale made me aware of how bad the MCU has the possibility of being. I have a very big forehead. Good night, Tri-State area.